One, two, 1, 2. Once again, shout out to our people on YouTube right now, man.
It took me a minute to get here, y'all ain't seen what I DJ to get here. My diamond, they burning you reef for my chain. You nigga gon' die, that's a deal with. That GBL drinking, don't stay with the Draco. I'm back in my grind, getting back to them pesos. Been a long time since I played with them pesos. Bet, pull up and bust in the tit. Big homie Gary, y'all know I'm a vet. That little hard dog to that little hoe fit. Get on your knees, I don't want never net. I was locked in that counter, kinda home collect. Hello? You can get shot, free throw. Tryna hit for a brick like Debo. Man, Gusta like Craig and Daddy. Man, bang like Beavis and Butthead Thug and Machiavelli. Nigga Tupac, blocking my skin and hung Ross.
What's going on, man? I'm checking in with you. What's going on with you, bro?
Coolin', man. I was checking this video out, man. He shot, man. This is
That's on gang, got no
shit hard.
A lot of rats in the city. I just want a million stacking to the city. Now I won't start till I call me a Bentley. 392 high power rats in my glizzy.
KosMo did it in the building, man.
My young nigga ready to slide, it's a killing. We in the trap with the Dracos and Matt with it. Keep popping shit, we gon' slide back to back with it.
Jump in that water, get 8 ball short.
Hey, this is GBF Gas featuring KOK Duke. Stick Talk Bank. Some of that new shit. Okay.
It took me a minute to get here. Y'all ain't seen what I DJ to get here. My diamond, they burning you reef for my chain. You nigga gon' die, that's a deal with.
Just give people a second to tune in.
Don't stay with the Draco. I'm back in my grind, getting back to them pesos. Been a long time since I played with them pesos. Bet. It took me a minute to get here. Y'all ain't seen what I DJ to get here. My diamond, they burning you reef for my chain. You nigga gon' die, that's a deal with.
Definitely.
Don't stay with the Draco. I'm back in my grind, getting back to them pesos. Been a long time since I played with them pesos. Way before Future, we been pulling move with the mask off. That way before blast off. Look at all of the can now. Had to get up and get it, never held my hand out. If I'm ever down bad, kiss it with him, just the plot on the stand. So like put that file on his ass. That's I can put that file on his ass. No way, I'm on your block.
So tag, left it last in the grab. Rag out the skinny jean, hugging my ass. This a bigger pistol, I ain't tryna say it. BVA diamonds on me, on stun. Tell my chains, I ain't going for nothing. I told my young nigga go on a hunt. Then burn your head in the bar like it lame.
Let go.
Jack in the bar, fucking me, I'll be that jet for the draw. My wrist, I ain't working no clock. 15 to the boy draw.
Turn us up right now, y'all.
Trusting the Glock, I ain't trusting these hoes.
Yeah.
Alright, we get out them bowls. Busting up bags in the spot with a bro. On gang. It took me a minute to get here. Y'all ain't seen what I DJ to get here. My diamond, they burning you reef for my chain. You nigga gon' die, that's a deal with.
Yeah.
GBL drinking, don't stay with the Draco. I'm back in my grind, getting back to them pesos. Been a long time since I played with them pesos. Bet.
It
took me a minute to get here.
Purple, man. That's what I'm on, man. That's what I'm on, man.
You on that hand too, I can tell.
Yes, sir. We're gonna start this thing all right, man. We're gonna start the night conversation all right, man. Shout out to the artist GBF Gas featuring KOK Duke and Stick Talk Bank. Get here. Shout out to the homie KosMo did it. That man did his thing. Skills will pay the bills. For everybody out there looking for a trade, trying to get paid, learn something that the next person needs, or goddamn, don't just take up space. Either way, man, we're gonna start this shit off. I got a topic that that's going on in the news, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna spin. I'm gonna do it a little bit different.
One moment, I'll be right back.
For the people that tuning in, I'm gonna do this a little different. Usually we ask the people who watching to send in the topic, but since we just starting this live stream, trying to get some people a chance to get their ass in here. Yeah, you feel me? Like this is something we just started doing. This is day 2. And last night was, a good conversation. We covered a lot of shit. If you got a question, leave a comment below, and we can talk about it. Let me see. I'm sharing us out, though. I'm making sure we out there. Shout out to Shell. What up, Shell? Alright. I'm not seeing us in on the page. I'm trying to share us out. And so we can get some people in here. for some reason. It must taken a little while to go through. Oh, let me see. Maybe I gotta let it through or something. Shell trying to get in. I see you, Shell. Can you hear her, Shell? We can't hear you. No. She like, nah, that ain't it. She trying. See, they trying to get in. Hopefully they can get us shared out. On YouTube it's a slow start, and then we kick over into Facebook.
She's saying she can't get on.
I see. Well, we off to the races. The first topic is Britney Spears.
Ooh,
I can't even hold it back.
let go.
Britney Spears is in the news. You heard about it?
Yeah, the last time I heard about it, she's in the news because she's in court trying to regain her rights to her financial accounts, I believe.
Right. It's deeper than that. It's a lawyer that she had for the last 13 years, and he's supposed to be like governing her well-being and mental health status. Well, apparently it's up to this judge, and it looked like she's stuck. But it was the part that's tripping me out. Not trying to say, put myself in a woman's shoes, but if you was Britney Spears, and you was in her shoes, she's definitely trying to plead that she's not crazy. But obviously, these people done took her keys and her financial for a reason.
The question we have to ask ourselves: what kind of contract did Britney Spears sign with these?
Right, what kind of contract is this where you can't get out of it with the lawyer? That's the part that like you mean to tell me in front of everybody, but you so mentally impaired that you can't get out of the contract. And he's getting paid $450 an hour for the last since 2018. They say it's been like $3 million. Just think about you don't like your person you're paying, so they're not around you, but they're getting paid. They still get their $3 million. And they flashed
What
them
type
up
of
there too. They flashed them on the news. Yeah, a lot of cold sores and shit. He didn't look right. I feel like the whole shit was suspicious. Shout out to Britney though, man. Britney Spears.
I feel like she's one of those young artists that you hear about coming out of the Disney scene. Just came out the Disney scene as a sensational young lady.
Hmm.
Grew up to be an actual icon. Um, that icon, I think like any product, it has a spoil time, and I
Woman, a
think
little
her
bit.
time just came and spoiled.
My chips
It's time.
and my food. No, go ahead. You said she grew up to be an icon, and what happened?
When they flipped her from a high school teenage look to a very sultry adult, and I think that's where they were trying to take that high school genre crowd. They follow
No,
the I
now,
forget what you
Shell,
would call her. You know what I'm saying?
Shell Pro, do you think when she was in transition from being the teen bop to the next pop sensation artist, do you think it was her decision or was it the business saying? What you think,
Is
Shell?
a is a
Shell Pro, what you think? Shell, nope, can't hear you, Shell. You must be muted. What you think, Cosmo? You think it was
I
her
think
decision, or was
no,
it her
it's 100%
management?
a business. It's 100% business management deals.
They're saying
Um,
that she's getting medication that she said that's fucking her up.
yeah, that's keeping her crazy. They tend to do that. That's a part of the deal.
Oh, it's a deal. This is really crazy, man. Did you have any topic in the news that you seen?
Say that again.
You seen any topics that you seen also like that, similar?
Mm, some of the topics that I hold on one second. Somebody sent me a text message. One moment, please. Someone sent me some music. I apologize for that. One of the topics I was doing a little research on, and I think you might have familiar experiences, the men being sensitive nowadays, not being able to take a hit on the chin and keep it moving, not be able to take their losses like
Mm-hmm.
gentlemen,
Got the
and
bag of chips. And not take their loss and speak on it, King. I'm loving it already, but you know, everybody want to be a winner, but nobody want to take their L. Ain't saying you got to be a loser, but you do got to take your L when you do. You drop right there. Thank you. Yeah. Taking the L. Is it like
your sound went off. I can't hear you or see. You're not even in frame. Check, check, check.
mic check? Yeah. Check. 1, 2, you hear me right? I don't hear you though. Say something. Yo. Say nope. Your shit ain't. Your mic ain't working. On your. Yup. Your shit out. Somebody must have called you or something. Say something. Say something. Nope. It's doing that shit again. Somebody must have called you. Baby. Oh. Yeah. Say something.
Check, check,
Yeah.
check,
Yeah. Echo a little bit too.
check,
Cut your shit down a little bit.
check.
Mm-hmm. Good. Now, you said you was just talking about some shit too. What happened? About
What you
sensitive
mean?
men. You brought up a subject about.
Yeah, men, sensitive men not being able to take uh their losses, men not being able to take rejection. Um,
That count for
men.
big, tall, no matter who.
Mm.
when it comes to rejection.
Yeah. Men not respecting that they're not doing as much as the next man around them. Not just having that humble respect of this man's actually working harder. He's staying up later. He's doing the things that I necessarily don't do or want to do or know. This man's heavily researched. He deserves his respect.
Now, now, see, when you talk about that sensitive title, people get in their feelings and think like, "What you talking gay or something?" No, really, you just saying, or I believe you're saying, sensitive men that want to be dramatic instead of handling the problem physically, they talk it out more.
No, not so much that a sensitive man would react more so than take action. A sensitive man would be like, "Oh, I lost. I'm gonna display my discourse for losing.
He let everybody know about his
I'll
loss
let
too.
you know what I mean?"
Yeah,
And then tell how he feels about it. When, in all honesty, it's like when you lose, you should be able. It's a straight up loss. Like, oh, I didn't have enough points. I didn't have enough people on my side. I was out. Whatever it is.
it's almost to the sense where if you're asking for, if when you're sensitive like that, it seems like you're begging for not attention but someone to plead with you.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people are insensitive.
Mm.
Now, I'm not saying there's not wrong with a person being expressive and expressing themselves, but don't put on a certain persona and be quick to crack your shell and, and turn into this, other person. You will mislead people.
Hmm.
Because if you talk to somebody like a hard shell all day, but then crack like an egg, then that wasn't the real you, and whatever you were talking about wasn't real.
Hmm.
You should have been cracked like an egg the whole time, and then harden up. You know, should have been the other way around. Well, I got a topic. It's on top of my dome. Thinking about what about these women who love these sensitive men? Because you got to think about it. When really, some women love men that express themselves like dead ass. You know what I mean?
Very true. Everybody's trying to come in, but they can't get in.
No, I'm adding us to these groups, and I don't see us showing up.
Restart the stream.
Listen, I just added to a new one.
Restart the stream.
I just did. I'm finna see something with his, what's going on? Trying to see when we showing up. Adding us to these groups, and I don't see us showing up. Adding us to these groups, and I don't see us showing up.
Bought around my waist inside the fairground. Don't let them go to waste, it's time to reach the coast. These niggas don't want no beef, we got that trauma got. These niggas keep playing around, they looking like who shot. This shit I'm smoking now got me paranoid. Can't leave that sitting down by my home. These niggas don't want no beef, we got that trauma got. These niggas keep playing around, they looking like who shot.
If a nigga owe me, I'ma get it out you. Tommy Kane and Ghost, money and the power. These niggas say that they won't in, we just can't allow it. I remember way back then when I wasn't counting. If you know that they a snitch, you better stay from around me. And they got that shit on paper, that shit better count it. I forget a lot of shit, cause my mirror clouded. But I'ma stand right on my 10, cause I been about it. Same nigga, same shit, just a different day. I'm with that chopper, hold 100, we gon' find a way. These niggas better go and find them somewhere safe to play. Get your partner, or we gon' cook that beat like Chopper got you.
Bought around my waist inside the fairground. Don't let them go to waste, it's time to reach the coast. These niggas don't want no beef, we got that trauma got you. These niggas keep playing around, they looking like who shot. This shit I'm smoking now got me paranoid. Can't leave that sitting down by my homeboy. These niggas don't want no beef, we got that trauma got you. These niggas keep playing around, they looking like who shot. Time and time again, you know they stayed out. Still got that bag in, you know we still count. Say you ain't got no bad, then you can't stand around me. Big police ass nigga tried to fucking clown me. These niggas hate you winning, I ain't worried about it. Say I'm really about my business, had to think about it. I had to be the odds, went no way around them. Yeah, the game came with scars, but we worked around them. They ain't get no money, tell me why they round you. Know a couple niggas should've never found them. They ain't hold you up, then they tryna down you. Look, I ain't gon' hold you up, I got money calling. Don't say about a bottle, that what he said. So I turned around and bought the whole bar instead. Look, I don't play no game, I just think ahead. The DJ know my name, we gon' throw some bread. Bought around my waist inside the fairground. Don't let them go to waste, it's time to reach the coast. These niggas don't want no beef, we got that trauma got you. These niggas keep playing around, they looking like who shot. This shit I'm smoking now got me paranoid. Can't leave it sitting down by my homeboy. These niggas don't want no beef, we got that trauma got you. These niggas keep playing around, they looking like who shot.
That video look real good, bro.
Thank you, bro. You did that, though.
Even though, like, when I shot that video,
did you know that the average adult
It
has
felt
5
rushed.
to 20 pounds of toxic poop?
you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a video.
You could
where
have
we
got
just-
some more shots or something. I know what you're saying. Like, cause we were there and the girl was like, come on. Yeah.
But she was as cool as she could have been about it.
When she seen what was going on. Yep. I just gave the team the link. They finna start jumping in.
Where's your drunk homeboy at?
Right. No one I'm looking for. That's my boy, man. Roberto, cool as fuck.
That nigga was trying you last night. Nah, you don't gotta prove nothing to him, nigga. I was like, alright. My man, he ready, turned up for sure. Fuck.
I'm trying to figure out how to share it on YouTube.
No, where did you share it?
It's in all the links. They got it.
Mm-mm. Reshare it. She probably just came in that bit.
Now they talking about the live.
Yeah,
They trying to
yeah, I
figure
know.
out how to share this shit. Cause
They
I
know
know
they
it.
trying to get in this bitch. That's what they trying to do.
I see Pope. She see that shit. She in both chats.
Ain't nobody in this chat. Niggas ain't hitting on nothing.
Mm-hmm. Pope said, here he come.
BioStream is nothing but a bunch of people who try to take your money.
Hell no.
These niggas don't want you to be no successful. They running scams.
KosMo
Baby.
is out here following people with a camera with guns only. You gotta have a strap.
Hell no. Change my ways, nigga. Change my ways, nigga.
No video, no Draco.
Shit.
Yeah, shit.
You saw Pee Wee Long when he shared my video. Posted that
Yep.
shit on his channel. Shit.
Which one? The new one?
That MPA Russia shit. I told you.
Mm-hmm. That shit gonna go up.
There you go. What we got going on?
Well, tonight we supposed to be helping single women get advice on how to get a man.
All right, let's start off. Let's just start off with are we sticking to biblical or are we going with the modern terms?
Both. Intrigued. I mean,
What is a guy supposed to look for in what would we say in a wedding and a partner?
the word you talking about is mate,
Okay.
but
What should one look for in the mate?
off the rip, compatibility, compatible.
Compatibility. What
Yeah.
well I mean what would be compatible? What are we looking for? What are 5 things that have to be given?
Two routines that's in the same radius, not too far apart. Um, one being the chaser and one being the
No. No.
kept.
Truth. You need truth in a relationship. Right?
Yeah, yeah,
You need respect.
yeah.
You need what else? Come on, y'all gotta help me. Y'all just took
I disagree because the first thing would have been love. You gonna need love, and then you saying
love.
yeah, you gonna need love. Cause without love, it ain't gonna work.
What about chivalry?
Yeah, I think
See,
a lot
love
of
is like fabrication and puppy love. When you first meet somebody, you
You know what I'm
already know
saying? But
that when
yeah,
you first met
yeah,
them.
you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, because love sometimes hurts. Love don't always feel good, and people don't accept that.
that.
Would you agree with that?
Love don't what?
I said love don't always feel good.
Now, love always has a feeling of feeling good. It's no way. It's the definition of good itself. Because when you say good and evil, you're gonna match love with good. You're not gonna match love in between. There's no in
So lo-
between good and evil. Love is not in between good and evil. Love is good. It represents good. You don't only you can look. Even something evil can feel love.
how?
Well, because of knowledge. Once you become knowing the difference between good and evil, just because you feel the euphoria of love, don't mean you still not an evil person. Shout out to Lady Capri in the building joining the tonight convo, and this is deep. We're talking about reasons that some reason why women are single, and right now he came up with a couple of reasons why, and I said number one should be love, but that I do agree that the love can be mixed up with fabrication and stuff. It's not. It can't be. It might not be real love.
You're saying why are we single? Why are more women single now?
Yeah.
It's more has to do with what's going on in the world. I think. I
Explain.
mean, we're having to work more. You know, I mean, the difference. If you're talking about the difference from back then when people were more together and families were more put together. I mean, we're splitting up more. It's harder. We're having more children. I mean, I think that it's just the stresses on the world are putting us separated.
Tell her to fix her mic, Pine.
Just move the phone in a better position, then it won't sound muffled. Say something.
I just feel like the stresses. I mean, I've been single for 4.5 years. I
Mm-hmm.
left my husband over abuse, but I just feel like it's not the abuse from another man that I'm more concerned about. It's just what I carry to the plate. I mean, I don't know. I feel like being single feels more put together in my life. I feel like there's no support really out there anymore. Everybody's too consumed in things they have to do and stresses they have to handle. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, love, I mean, love means you're willing to stretch out for someone else, but you have to be able to love yourself to be able to do that.
Now, you brought up some good topics. What you're saying about love. Let's get Lady Dupree in here to bring it in her from her point of view. How do you feel about it, Lady Dupree?
Well, I mean, sometimes the reason why women rather be single is because they just don't feel like dealing with the bullshit. Like you
Oh,
rather,
now we getting
Dealing.
there. Yes, she had to come in here to crank it up. Okay, she said they don't want
yeah.
to deal with the bullshit. Now, what is the bullshit?
Like for example, a dude will tell you like, "Oh yeah, baby, I want to be in a relationship." Whole time they just want to fuck. If that's what you want to do, just say, "Hey, I'm just trying
And
to fuck."
if
That's
and
all
if
we
they
really.
if they was to say, hey, I just want for what you would do, you would make a decision whether or not you want to do that, right?
Right.
Exactly.
But
I'd rather
in
you
their
keep it
in their
100.
mind in their mind it's over with if it's yay or nay at this point, right?
It depends on the female. See, me, I rather you keep 100 with me. Tell me up front. Don't have me leading on thinking, oh, yeah, we together, we this and we that.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time, you on some other shit. And then months
Mm-hmm.
go by and we falling out because the whole time it wasn't what it was
It
in the
wasn't really
beginning.
real.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
so what you learned from it? How do you So are you basically you want to say your status? Are you complicated, single, taken? What was so?
Oh, I got a man, but I'm just speaking, on those that are single because I've been in the time where I was single, and I was single because motherfuckers like to play games, and I don't like to play games.
So your answer to the question is why females like choose to be singles because um, people like when men like to play games. Now,
Yeah.
do you think that if a woman is outgoing and she's talkative and she's friendly with a lot of people and she's desirable, a lot of people see her and want her. You do you
What's
not?
a desire? First off, you got to determine what's a desirable woman.
Well, we're talking about a personality of a woman that's not kept in the house. She's not trying to be
Gotcha.
in a committed relationship and sit in the house with you. She's trying to go out the door and be in groups of people and go places. And she's trying to every weekend you see her taking pictures at a club or she's outgoing.
I think
She's
that's I think that's what's wrong with women. That's why they're single, especially the younger women.
well, we're not finished with the scenario. I get you with this conversation started. I get you, but so what I'm saying is, you got a woman like that, and just think about why she making the choice to be single is because she don't want to give up her freedom, and she don't want to do that just because a guy says he's gonna give up his freedom. So by her going out in the club, she's meeting married and taking men. So she don't want to trust the fact that if she get in a relationship, that they're gonna just do her like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to understand why so many women be single. But reality part of it is this: you got to create a bond with somebody, or you're gonna be lonely. You gotta. I don't care if you gotta go to the club, to the grocery store, to your job, whatever it is. You
And
got to
then it
create a
also
vibe.
makes me,
Yeah.
it makes
What
me
you
feel
go,
like that can be something I don't want to do. I mean,
move your
you do
phone.
need bonds, but
Yeah.
it's not like, I guess everybody's situation is different, and that's why everybody, it's hard to make an opinion, even if they call an opinion, because that's the opinion, because it's everybody's different.
I mean, it's respect. If you a man and you don't want to be in a commitment, just like you got bachelors, a dude be like, "Yo, he meet a female, she nice and all, but he don't know yet." And she the same way, but they're playing this cat and mouse game. They're not really committed. They're not saying what it is. They're not saying we're in a relationship or nothing like that. But you'll have that going on. That does exist.
The,
But you got some women that actually want to be single. For real.
why? Why? I mean, everyone has their own way of doing things, but I guess I don't understand what's the in between of like you don't know if you're with someone or you're not. I don't understand that.
I understand it like this. It's like a woman deciding whether or not she want to have a baby or not. It's a relationship like a baby. You done heard that metaphor before, right?
Yeah.
Some women don't want to bear a child, but they still do what? They do other things, and you be like, man, you better be careful. You end up pregnant. She like, well, I don't want no baby or something like that. So when
Then
you
why? Then why
they
is
do
she
that
doing
with
those things?
relationships. She does that with relationships the same way. You'll go from guy to
Because
guy.
she
She'll go
doesn't
from
value her. She doesn't value
it
herself.
ain't that. It's the celebration mode of life when you're an outgoing person too much. When you overdo too much of anything is too good. It is in vain. And so what happens is you will be so used to the rush. So when I went out last night, I drunk this and we did that. Then you call him and you did that. And then after that, y'all had breakfast and then you went to work. You catch your
Why?
money. Everything is
Why?
a thrill, thrill, thrill.
Why would she? Why would a woman be doing that? Period.
Okay, because the opposite of that is a relationship. So you be like, well, is it boring? Not necessarily boring, but it's more routine. It's opposite of that. You're not at no club. You're not finna go out for drinks, and then you're not doing none of that shit, bro. You just meet up. Did you get some or what you want to eat and watch and go to sleep? Or it's none of that, bro. It's just totally different when you are in a commitment. When you're in a commitment, you're obligating some of your time to another person, to well-being, to check where they at. You ain't gonna just, you're not just solo dolo. Okay, I ate one time, I'm good for the day. You're
Yeah.
concerned about another person. So with a
Yeah.
woman who's not concerned about nobody, if she get around you and you making her feel like she need to be concerned about you, she will snap on you because that's out of her routine. See, she's like, no, I'm running from that. I don't want you to feel like you got to tell me where to go and where I gotta be. Don't put no tabs on me. Don't start all that goddamn housing me. All of a sudden she look around and it's a goddamn key and an alarm and on her ass, and she be like, how this happen? Because you let that nigga keep letting you spend the night, and then to eventually he just told you, hey, tell the truth, we just might well be together. And that's how most people end up being together. I know for a fact.
Hell no, that's total. What? That's crazy.
It start out with good sex, and then it goes. Bro, trust me. It start with good sex, and then it start to a relationship.
That's a total bad, like terrible base to start anything off of.
You don't believe good sex can start a relationship? Let me ask Debris. Do you believe that?
Hey, anything is possible in this lifetime.
But good
Like you
sex,
said, it could.
uh,
Yeah,
uh,
it
Can it?
good
can.
sex.
Yeah. Could abuse? Yeah, abuse. You could start a relationship off of abuse. You beat a
Wait a
bitch up
minute.
one day, she end up
So
liking
you
you the
gonna
next.
force somebody? Wait a minute. A relationship is not. A relationship can be abusive. Don't mean it's made of abuse. No way. It's made. Supposed to started on love. It had to be a bond or a union. It could be tricked into some other evil shit later
Nah,
on.
it could start out as just a strictly
I
abusive.
don't believe that nobody. What about you, Shell? How you feel? You believe that?
I mean, I get you guys and what you're talking about, but I want to take it somewhere just a little bit back to why we're not able to, just have a relationship with somebody. It's not easy, really, because once as you're young and you're growing up, you don't really know what you want and you haven't experienced enough
Mm-hmm.
to adjust to other people's lives or care about anybody else as it is. But once you've already had a relationship and you've developed a family, so this is where a lot of people are at. They've already had families. Bringing in another person, you're already on guard when you have a family already developed upon it. So it makes it difficult to develop even a sexual relationship because you've got family. And then you've got to worry about, you know, times with this person without the family. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot that goes on once you've already developed a family. It's almost like that's what they say. Oh, you're at a certain age and you got so many kids, you're not going to find somebody. Look, it's not. It's that can be broken. I mean, it just takes the communication with the person.
Right.
I'm looking for the right person for the family, not for my bed. If I was looking for the right person for my bed, I would not be alone.
So what you
So
saying
I feel
is,
like,
in order to be in a relationship, that person got to realize you're becoming a new extension of the family.
right. So there's different types of relationships. You can't, and it all comes down to communication and like where you are and where they are. For it to
Okay.
work, if they, are willing, if they don't have family yet, are willing to have somebody else's family currently, then it could work if they both wanted to. I mean, it really comes down to both parties really wanting something to work, chemistry, whether you can adjust. I mean, adjustment. I mean, there's a lot that goes on in a relationship, but I think just having your own self control and understanding that you're not the only one. When you come in a relationship, you can't just be the only one, and it's you know all about you or your decisions. Even as a man, like
It's
say
a
I want to
yeah.
have a relationship. I mean, first off, where would it start? Like it would have to be communication on the phone for a while for me to even care for this person. But then to develop one around the children, how would I be around them? It's not. So now I'm putting my kids to the side to be with somebody. So I don't like that. I'm not about that. And so how do I adjust to giving them and the person time to be around each other? You know what I mean? Like it's so difficult once you've already
Now I see exactly what you're saying now.
have
It's not
one.
gonna work if when you got kids already prior to 9 out of 10s. But what we basically, I thought we was just saying like somebody single starting straight from fresh, you know.
People are
But
willing to admit to that. Even if they don't even have family or wouldn't even want to have family and meet you and say, damn, I like you so much that I really like your family. That it can work, you know, it's
mm-hmm.
just on that time of communication, like what is that person really looking for? Okay, you got kids, you at the park, you know, they like you or they watch you walk by. I mean, so you start kissing them
I'm
out.
gonna keep I'm gonna keep it 100. What you doing is talking about old school shit, like meet my parents, come home and meet the parents, and you know that's how I was in high school. You had to meet the parents. Like you can go out with like meeting the dad. You know, it wasn't like that. Like you met a girl, she was like, my mom didn't want to meet you. I swear it was like that. I don't know if it changed, but growing up,
Yeah, it changed. Cause I remember just pulling up at girls' houses and just taking them wherever I wanted to take 'em.
Yeah, no,
I do recall being able to spend a night at an
um,
early age over girl's house. I remember being 16, 17, spending the night on my girlfriend's house, and her mom was cool with it.
you know, but having respect too, you know, just for a relationship. I mean, people just don't even respect that anymore. What does it take for a full
Yeah,
relationship?
parents don't support it no more because my mom and her mom became friends, and there was like, man, our kids are in love with each other, and it was cool with it. But nowadays, people are like, no, 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 you too young. They force this image of rebel against the kids of what they got to do, and they do it too harsh. They don't realize you got to be
Nah,
cool a little bit.
for a fact, at a certain age, the kids of the opposite sex shouldn't be associating until they understand themselves. Cause you're prone to make mistakes at an early age.
Judging by the law on paper, I think it's around 9 years old for that. You can't even. They're not letting them do that. They're not letting that decision go because they're really trying to get these kids ready at a younger age because they know in other established countries, their kids at 9 and 10 year olds function at a higher level of consciousness, and we tripping over here with pampering our kids. They're
Yeah,
sick of it too.
I mean,
So you're basically saying consenting age should be at lesser.
no,
Not sex though.
no relationships with others. I mean, really, we've been, now starting to separate
I
more.
think like working,
In
a child
Brazil,
should be able to work when
a
he turn a
13-year-old
teenage.
is considered an adult.
Then he should be able to work. At 12, 13, if he turn a teenager, he should be able to work and get a check.
So they should be at 12 and 13 in Brazil, they can have sex with a 50-year-old or a 40-year-old and it still be legal.
What I think is
It's in a
that
lot of
if they can do all that at 12 and 13-year-old, have sex with 50-year-olds, then they can go to work and get a
No,
check.
they do go to work. Yes, definitely they do
So
go to work.
hey, no, in a country where it's not established, because when they say an established country that's ran like United States, I like where I'm at. I've seen enough or heard enough or don't even know really how it would be to live somewhere else because I've been here my whole life in the United States.
So I could literally pull up, honk my horn, your 13-year-old daughter jump in my car, and we go
No,
off. We
that's
Yeah,
why I
that's what.
said that's where I live at. You can't do that. That's why I love where I'm at. That's why I said what I just
Gotcha.
said. That's why I said that. That's why all that shit that going on over there, you take your daughter over there to visit and lose her over there, and be like, no, 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 you know, they're like, no, swap for swap. You take my daughter, I take your daughter. Some shit going on over there. It's all kind of different rules and rituals that you weren't used to and customs. The customs, French fries and hot dogs and stuff like that. That's what I'm into. How you feel about this topic that we talking about? What's your vibe? Where you at? I don't know. Is you with us? Okay. You feel like what we were just saying, what we were just talking about, established countries having children that develop smarter and
Have a
far
lower,
along.
they have a lower consenting age.
Do you think is this be real? If I knew some kids were far along than the kids that I was teaching, that's a threat, right?
No. It's a method. Like, it could be used as a method of population control.
So you telling me right
You know
now?
how many more babies that we would have if it was actually legal to,
Wait a minute. So you
you
telling
know,
me
the
It's such a
consenting
topic.
age?
if
It's
you
such
knew
a
you
topic
had a
that
booming
we need
population?
to talk about.
Oh, okay, Quinn. What would you say, Shell?
You know, it's almost even a topic that you really you shouldn't even, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even talk about, like, open freely, consent, age, sex, young. I mean, that's all, like, censored even here in America, you know?
Yeah,
It
but
should be, because
Considered
that's the
very,
biggest problem. That's the biggest
it's,
problem in America.
it's
That's
considered very sensitive.
listen,
It's for a lot
if
of people.
if listen, this is what I'm basically saying. If I have a test going over the United States and I know what the scores are, and I'm looking at the scores and the test, and then I fuck around, put this shit on the internet, and it goes public all over the world, and then the motherfuckers that talk shit be like, oh yeah, so let's look globally and see what country is the smart. They can see now since computers come around. Now
Mhm.
you can see that these 7-year-olds in Indonesia are smarter than these motherfuckers over here. These people in the United States, why the fuck we're scared of them when they're fucking 29 or 21 years old, just now getting where our 11-year-olds at in mathematics and shit. So once they figure that out online, I ain't talking about the books. Remember, they already burning books. They getting rid of books and shit. I ain't talking about books, because if you use the app, the application and online information don't lie. The test results don't lie. The test shows that United States. This is what I'm saying. In the United States, our children are not far along as they think than other countries, and these countries are underdeveloped. And I am proclaiming and saying it right now. My whole argument right now is saying that underdeveloped countries are more smarter than our generation, but not at speaking English. When it comes to speaking multiple languages, I don't give a fuck. You could just tell when somebody has an accent and they're not really. Other than that, their brain, the genius, they're there. It's perfect. So, what is something in the water? Now, I ain't saying America got a bunch of born dumbasses, but it's something in the goddamn water over here.
I don't
It
know.
ain't. It ain't in the tuna fish at Subway, 'cause they said it ain't no tuna in there.
I don't think we're focused at the right thing sometimes. You know,
Mm.
they don't have all these luxuries like we do, so they're really, you know, if all they have is books, then that's all they're going to do. You know, or if they're looking to get out of their, you know, poverty, they would be needing to.
Bless you. You know what a IPO is? It's when they give you the instructions to something and you break it down and you can remake it, and they got to give it to you because of their patent and all that other shit, right? So it's like, in order for me to sell this shit and say it's mine, I got to tell you the instructions and how it's made. And it's a patent, right? So, but imagine a person on their spare time, because they don't have that other shit they're into, but their children are sitting down doing IPOs for fun, sitting there just looking at blueprints of how to put calculators together on their own. But imagine they said, well, won't you sell it and make you some money? You know what I'm saying? So imagine, all this imagine shit is really happening off their hobbies. They're making money and got bank accounts and they're learning in residuals before our children are belligerently dumbfounded with all this culture, rah 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 movie, I want to be a star shit. Meanwhile, people are getting taught how to melt down zinc and aluminum and cast it down to get to the point. Is the undeveloped countries are far along when you got the trade. It's okay to have skills, know how to do something, but a trade is different. A trade is something you can be a master at and teach other people and have a school at. You know what I'm saying? It's totally different. You know what I'm saying? Even if you learn a trade, you still gotta have skill at that trade. But it's trade first. Unfortunately, people gotta pick an occupation. And I'm saying in America, when they cut the corona and said all that old shit, and they said essential workers and all that shit, we found out real quick what was a trade, what was doomed. You gotta sit your ass at home and just take one for the team. You realize real quick, and you realize real quick who kept working and making shit. That's why I'm running my mouth about undeveloped countries that kept getting that motherfucking bag while we sitting around here wearing masks. Them motherfuckers were creating shit to sell our ass. Like, you dumb man, nigga, I'm buying me some Bitcoin on y'all that. While we over here doing all this old petty, they over there on some other level shit. So it don't. What I keep on going at is the test. The test proved me right. The test proved me right.
The countries are still like,
we flunking as a student in high school. If it was a group, everybody, the whole planet was in school, America would be the kid that would be C plus something. He ain't saying he a flunky, but he ain't as what we thought.
It's honestly about the application of knowledge. It doesn't matter like what you get on a test score or your people are smart. It's about United States by far is by far applies most of their technologies to financial gain or war.
I feel what you're saying could be true, but when it comes to information, if I find out that your schools are that you don't want me to know about, all your private schools and whoever you got and you hired. So let's talk about the people who got hired that didn't go to school. How about that? Let's go ahead and just talk it, bring it on up. Who was rich as fuck and said, fuck college, come work for me?
A lot of folks.
But no, who was doing that and they brought that up recently big?
Continue. I don't. Where you going?
I mean, this is Bill Gates. This is the philanthropist.
All those guys.
But the guy who built Facebook, the guy built Facebook. The guy from Facebook hired a college dropouts. He didn't let him go. We know
C Street.
C Street. We know you. Yeah, go ahead.
Why are you trying to take us down there? They all came from C Street.
Well, I'm just saying, this is where I'm speaking on this shit because this is all real. This is not play, man.
These guys come from These guys that you see on the news.
How you skip college and become a millionaire? It should be a book. What you think?
You join a society, or your parents are a part of a legacy as a society, and you are ordained in the society.
You think that if
you
a
think
person,
Mark Zuckerberg came out of nowhere with Facebook?
You think a person,
he really came up with it in his fucking dorm by himself?
No, it was first of all, no. They gave him the title of ownership. There was another guy who started a program for the CIA and the Army for intelligence that started Facebook, and then they put Mark as he was an agent for CIA, whatever. But long story short, Shell, do you really believe this shit now?
What? To become a millionaire that quick, I would think a lot of it these days.
Do you believe in anybody becoming a millionaire without going to college? And if they did, shouldn't it be a list and an investigation?
Well, you said something like just they had a book. I'm sure they have many books on how to.
Why am I saying this? Why am I saying that? Because if you got the test in school for kids to go to school, some have to go to public, some go private, right? But in order for you to be validated at a job, or if you just born rich, you still got to say you a expert, a specialist. You got to have paperwork saying that you something. But if your paperwork is money, cash, and you went to schools based on that shit, then we need to know as a nation, as a world, when you're dealing with millions and billions, that you got money and you don't know what you're doing, because you can buy a product and say sell it to people and give people cancer, because you're not knowing, you're not really an expert in the field, you just got money. So what I'm doing is trying to get you to understand why I'm bringing that shit up about these tests. The tests are so important that you give these kids at a young age these video games and all of this shit so you can see where everybody's at as they grow and what potential they could be. What could deter them in life got to be videoed. You need to be able to see, just like a video game, while I'm teaching this perfect pupil at 9 years old, what made him flip between 9 and 13 and end up going the wrong path. You can have that shit taped. You can watch him hang with the wrong friends and start smoking weed and goddamn fucking off, not studying in the morning, his grades drops and everything. The test. Then you can see people.
So you want to do a Truman Show on somebody?
I feel like it's already going down, but people don't understand why you get a phone call to the parent that goes, "Hey, I want to talk to you about something," because they're monitoring his grades from elementary to junior high to high. It's a test thing, and I didn't understand it until it's global. It's global, and if the information get out, it's poison. If you, let me show you what I'm talking about. If you tell me that America is the richest nation in the world, and I found out you the dumbest one, all I got to do on the other side is just finesse y'all. Then y'all got all the money. But if I knew you had a lick of a brain, I have no chance for ever conquering the world. Long as I know that you dumb as hell, we could trick you out of it. That's Chinese, that's whoever, Ireland, whoever's gonna try to you for that. They're gonna want to know the test. They're gonna want to know how smart you really are. Put it online. Put your test results online. And once that information go public, that's your fucking ass as a country. The more you talk UN, come on, NATO, let's join together, the more you got to show your test results. Because guess who's going to have good test results? UK. Why? Because all of it, we don't want to bring it in. You don't bring it up. Why? Well, UK blood supply is being shipped in for years from Australia. The Aborigines have been supplying blood to the French UK population for years. Why? Because you can look up UK right now population and look up the blood type, and they'll tell you it's type O. And the only way you can have type O, you have to be born black. And UK is apparently a lot of Europeans. There's no way. It's the home of the Greeks right now. What the fuck? So it's just a whole scam going on. Nobody ain't gonna speak on that. Nobody don't want to go, well, how did they have black blood and they born white? That's because of the vaccine. But they have a whole different shot that they stopped using back in '61. And people can look up these videos where they'll tell you about these people that was born back in the day that used to live 102 and 110 years old. And they used to be like, why y'all living so old? Because they had different shots when they had to go to school than what we take now. And people like, no, they was eating fruits, vegetables, and da-da-da. That's true. That's true. But all of that happened so you and I can be here. Just so they can run other shit through you. Because if they made drugs as test runs and shit like that, it's a test to run through you. Once again, the test. The test is not just grading you, da-da-da-da. It feels like you're being watched from an alien society and being ran all kind of tests, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really feels like. What do you think about the test system and it being global? Because you know about that online. You know internet exists.
How I feel about it?
Because you know it was a paradox between book and internet. Now you know that the internet, that makes that's a clause in the future. That makes the future jump to a possibility that this is possible, that information can get out, that I can find out that, wait a minute, y'all some dumbasses. Why these people always fuss about kids and their grade scores? Why they always hide that shit? You know what I'm saying?
It's not. I don't think it's a thing of hiding it. I think it's a terms of deliberately dumbing down a society. Every country has a deliberately dumbing down of society.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge advantage of it just having a whole working class of society.
You know what? You
especially
said
if
a good
you know.
point. That's a good point because if I'm a foreigner and I ace away in all my other classes except speaking English, and you
Right.
will make it a problem saying that, oh well, you're not ready because you're not good enough to speak the English all the way. And I promise you, that limitation that they could do to you is so psychological and it's so wrong
And
and it's not true.
and people have to understand that you could be brilliant in another country and have like the most brilliant job, like, and get paid still scraps because of it's how its governmental economic system set up.
Not only do
Because
you got to speak the same language, but everybody that speaks the same language, you got to understand it. So if a person walk up on you and he look at you and you don't even know him, he says, he will tell you who they are. I am such and such, and I'm an authority figure. I'm taking you with me, or whatever. I mean, you gotta just think about it. A being could walk up on you and say, "This badge means that I am such and such, and you come with me." I mean, you
it's
got to understand
it's
that's verbal words telling you something that you comprehend and understand. Now, imagine somebody talking to you and you don't understand what they're saying, and they got a posture of you, me, you come with me, and you know what I'm saying. You don't understand what they're saying.
mhm.
It doesn't give the same energy, no matter how big or tall this motherfucker is, if you don't have the same language. So this is why I'm bringing that up, because it's important. The goal about English is having everybody speaking one language, or at
Oh
least
no.
knowing English. Like they tell us in high school, they was like, "Yo, you need to learn English and what Spanish." But I'm guaranteeing you, in their school, you need to learn English. They're telling all of them, y'all need to learn English.
I mean, yeah, it's the I mean, we America has a way of being the lead trader. So it's like you go off the lead trader's language. Like if China ends up being like the lead trader of the world, we'll end up being like, having to speak Chinese as a second language.
How much you know about what he's talking about China being the lead trader when Shell? You know anything about that?
I really feel like they're not sure exactly what is going to be coming about trading and working, or, with these other countries. Um, it just, to me, feels like it's getting worse. I don't see it getting any better. I think we're going to have to start doing our own countries and developing and buying our own products to build our own countries. I mean, we're in debt as it is. So the trading is, I know it has to be. I mean, we've got to get our lower dollars for more stuff. But I mean, I don't know.
I hear that.
I don't know. I have no patience.
I don't think I was just talking to someone the other day and I was like, I don't believe that people should be able to work in this country and take their money and bring it back to other countries.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like we really should be building our own products, and that's what he said. It's like, why are we going to third world to develop products, to
Right.
manufacture things when we can obviously do it right here?
Right.
The same headphones you have on from China, we can develop here, but it's more
Right.
expensive. Why is it more expensive for us to do it if it's right here? You've eliminated, dealing with other countries. You've eliminated overseas, all these other things by doing it right here. But we sit here and say, no, I want $15 to develop that headphone, and over there they want $1. And I say, no, I want 15 because I'm an American and I won't work less than $15, and that's it. And so I just see that we say, okay, well, I'm not buying it from you then, and I'm going to go across country, and get it from them for $1, and I'm going to buy 100 more than what you're going to sell them to me for. So we're
So
forced to work with that because of the way we are. I mean, I really feel like if you were to go to anybody right now and say, develop these for me here in America. They're going to give you a price, what, 3 times almost, more than another country because the, I don't know.
I know what you're saying though.
They're forced to work with that.
Now, what I'm saying is, we were saying that what did you know about, basically the new Silk Road. There's a deal going on where people not talking about this in the mainstream news, and it's really pathetic. But since we up and we talking about it, we bringing it up. Uh, it's basically a big money deal where they're allowing, well, certain countries are all chipping in into buying into the deal, and you got people trying to break that deal up and not let it happen. So another
Yeah,
way to do that is,
it's a bunch of communist countries coming together that are trying to develop
you
a whole
know,
nother shipping route outside the terms of United States
when you use the
dollar.
word Republican, Democrat, communist, to me it's just ways not saying mob, gang, gangsters.
Nah, nah,
They ain't no difference,
they're
man.
nah. It's a fact of just being it's a fact of just being America first or like other countries first, and that's just a way of looking at things. Like you can involve other countries all you want, but like when you give power to other countries that don't have the same they don't value the same things. They're not trying to do the same things. Like
Hmm.
it can draw sticky places. That's where we are in this world now. Everybody's hand was in the pot, and cookies went up missing. And now we trying to get something going on. Like what the fuck going on?
Nah, I
Oh,
definitely feel
swipers.
that, but I don't go for the illusion that I don't want to say too much, but I would say this, that there's a rumor going around that that China can't fight, and I don't know if you heard it before.
What fight? What though? Fight off the lies. I mean, or fight off. I mean, because really, I feel like the fight is really what is truth and what is lie. And us, as the people, we still are fending the fight of figuring out what is truth and what is lie.
Right,
We are stronger as the people than the government itself. They are more powerful. And
right.
it comes down to the money. Us as the people, we're whole. We're bigger. We're obviously bigger, but the government controls it. I don't know. I think that lies are easier to tell. I think
Yeah,
easier
it
to
becomes
believe.
easy to tell, but accepting the truth is this: PlayStation is a beta, and Xbox is like always coming out after PlayStation. So that's the beta. So that means to me that your main students are over there. And whether that means you're selling me from over there to here. When the more you say that in layman's term, is like, well, who the customer? The customer is United States. And I don't want to, I can't feel like a customer and be
I
the boss and be the boss at the same time if I'm representing the states. Like that shit right there will fuck with me. Like I don't know about you, but it really would fuck with me if I felt like, damn, you trying to hustle me everywhere I go. But then when you live here and you hear about them charging, overcharging, the government saying, well, we need some chin straps for the army, and these chin straps are $20 a piece when
Yeah.
they want but 50 cents or whatever. I'm saying that is a corrupt move, or thinking of how to get over or some shit, and not direct the funds to go ahead and have the meetings and direct the problems and have the funds to affect the people. That's what really the problem is. You know what I'm saying? It's
what is
just
it?
people not talking about the right conversations. They don't want to talk about the right conversations. That's what it is.
I can agree with that.
Like we'll laugh and joke about the wrong things. if you want to think about stuff that's not really funny, sometimes a lot of this shit we wouldn't be laughing at. But the shit we'll be laughing at is when a person should be playing you like you stupid. Like, I ain't gonna eat that. It was in the news. They was talking about Subway that is not no DNA in the tuna fish, in the tuna, and and they got a whole lawsuit. Now I'm in a state. I don't know about y'all, but if y'all in state, but you could be living in a state that's still selling the tuna and shit. We all could be,
Well, you gotta consider that Subway is just processed meat, so it's like any of the meat that you're eating is, uh, cut with other meats. So you're not ever eating 100% turkey or 100%. It's processed. It's packaged in that tube that they put on that little slicer, and inside that package is like mushed meat cooked and then sliced. That's essentially what you're eating.
So when I think about processed food, like processed cheese and processed meat, I start thinking about a process. It took a process to make this shit, right? So
Right.
when I hear that our processed food is in the court, that's important, cause I want to see what the outcome will be. Is y'all finna show us that the process that y'all been doing been fraud all this time? You get what I'm saying? I really want to see
the thing is,
what they're gonna do.
it's gonna be one of those things the same way they did with Taco Bell not too long ago about the meat. How it was like 30, it was like 2% meat.
The Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Yeah, I mean, I stopped eating there a long time ago, but
but people still do, because they just enjoy it.
and there's nothing wrong with Taco Bell. Shout out Taco
I
Bell,
mean,
but
yeah, if you choose not to eat what they say called so-called meat,
it's so-called meat. That's what it is.
so-called, yeah.
That's
The
wild.
thing
That's
is, that's
crazy.
why you ever notice Kentucky Fried Chicken? They don't say it anymore because it's not. They said clearly in the I forget what they said, where they in a lawsuit that they cannot call it Kentucky Fried Chicken. They can call it KFC.
Wow. And it's going down. Certain places
Yeah,
they let the chicken stay up there in certain places though, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So this is what we mean. Like certain places they'll reveal the truth. Like in Missouri, did you know they banned hand sanitizer? And I was wondering why. Why did in Missouri in 2000? Y'all can look it up. They fucking banned hand sanitizer
Why?
because they said it was causing. Some women was saying that it was causing them cancer. It was getting cancer and then from using it in their hands and shit. And I was like, now it's funny later. This shit about the hand sanitizer again.
That's interesting. Now that's interesting because I know a few moms that used to have it by the gallon and damn take a bath in that shit.
Well, not trying to make anybody scared. On this show, we like to talk about conversations that'll make you think. This is a late night conversation with KosMo and Pine, and we got Shell Pro in the building with us. If anybody got any kind of topics that they would like to talk about, feel free.
Yeah, please, write in the comments right now what you would like to talk about, what y'all want to hear us talk about. Right now, we just rolling big blunts. What you smoking over there, Pie?
Hey man, I got some purple ranch over here right now, man. And I'm good. I'm
Okay.
cooling. We got the
Everybody,
queen.
you see my eyes, I'm faded, so we just doing a late night vibe.
We got Shell
You
Pro
know
in
what I mean?
here to give us
Yeah,
that
Shell Pro
female
turned up.
point of view. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And she's like our Indian squaw. She's definitely like a whole Indian squaw in here right now. Nothing against Indians either, but you do, Shell Pro.
Yes,
You
I
are
give
Indian
the
squaw.
Indian vibes.
Yeah, I feel like when I see you, I think it's gonna rain, or
Love
or
you.
or I just feel like saying, oh,
Mhm.
oh,
we got
yeah,
it.
no. Yo, I'm feeling good, man. You
When
know,
even on all the topics, like all of them that you picked tonight, really, I think all of it comes down to communication, the correct communication and everything. Like when we're miscommunicating, we have lack of communication. There's just a lot of lies, a lot of things going on that just shouldn't be. But we're all looking up and saying, please help. But we're not looking at in. I think
definitely.
we need to look in more instead of out. You see a lot of people directing things to others around you. Everybody's wanting to worry about somebody else. I mean, we deal with that, but some people have rational brains and some don't. But I think just getting along is the biggest key. We need to know how to do that.
I agree. Getting along is a good thing when you conscious of it. But guess what I always used to say? Love is reason. When I say love is reason, that means like if I don't beat your ass or if I don't goddamn fuck you up, it'll be
Tell me
love.
this:
Love will be the reason.
if you love somebody, sh- is love the willing to give your life for somebody?
Love would be the reason. If you want to commit suicide and say fuck it, love would be the reason. Yes.
Why would someone commit suicide?
Again, let me break down why I say love be the reason. The love be the reason be like this. When you can't think of like why you do that? Like that was crazy. Then they'll be like because of love. Love be the reason. And I learned that love sometimes equals reason. When you try to
No.
reason, when you be trying to reason and rationalize shit, that's love. Cause if you mad, listen to me. When you mad about something, ain't no calming you down but one thing, and that's love. Love is the only thing that make a strong, dominant thing be reasonable.
Uh,
Love. Love is the only
look,
thing that let you spare somebody. You don't understand if you're real, like for real. If you like saying, man, I'll fuck you up if you fuck with me. You can have somebody pinned down, finna take their life, and for the love of something, will give you what they call some people call a conscience, but that's love, man. Love within you. That spare love. Anything that spares, that's love, bro. Like straight up.
I
That's
don't
what
know
it
about
is.
that.
I mean, you probably didn't know what love is until you know what it is to be spare or spare something. You got to know love is like, wait a minute, let me get this straight when I keep saying the word spare. Because we know knowledge is stronger than wisdom, and woman is wisdom, and man is
So
knowledge.
so
So
so so tell me
man
this.
is sparing woman.
Okay, so you love your partner, correct?
Hmm.
Would you give your life for her?
Because of love, I would. I wouldn't give my life. Love would do that. My love, if at the time of anything, a situation, love would make you jump up and pick a goddamn car up, and you wouldn't know where the strength came from to do that. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I wouldn't do a lot of shit. I wouldn't did.
Adrenaline
Right,
would.
right.
Adrenaline would. I'm
No,
not too sure
attached to
about that.
love. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you never been in passionate heat sex, and somebody tell you, "Oh, baby, I love you," and you ain't told them you love them back. You ever had a girl tell you, "I'm finna go out the door, bye, I love you," and you didn't tell her, "I love you" back before she walked out the door?
Yeah, I've done that.
You left her hanging.
Hey,
You ain't let her
take
just turn around and go, "Oh, for real? You're not gonna tell me you love me back?"
take your ass on. I'll holler at you.
I can't believe, bro. I know for a fact you over there talking about love you. So this is what I'm
Nah,
saying.
there been
I
times where
think you can do it.
get your
I
ass
think you
on.
can do it.
You you
Bye.
can you
Get your
can
ass on.
every
Ain't nobody
time
want to
you
hear
did.
about you talk about no love and you just did all that
Every
shit. Get your
time
ass
you
on.
did that shit you thought about, you're not finna say it. That means you love. Love is reason. Love means you think of
Man,
a reason.
man,
Love
you
don't
can
put
say.
no thought of nothing to spare nothing. Only love does that.
I'm gonna tell you
It's
something.
simple.
Love is of the heart. You can't say nothing to convince nobody you love them.
No, you don't have to say nothing. Love is action. Love is reason. Why you
Yeah,
do that?
walk
Why
your
you
ass
do
on
that?
out.
Why would you go to work? Why would you pay your bills? You don't love life? Think about what you're saying, brother. Love is reason. Think. Why would you do anything, period, if you didn't love it? You covet, you use the word covet. Covet and love is very close. But love is like, man, no, I love my life. I ain't gonna let you just take mine. I'd rather keep mine, you keep yours. I'm okay with the fact you're how tall you is and how tall I am. I'm in love with what I see and you in love with what you see. So you love yourself. You don't have self love. That's what you're saying?
I value myself. Yeah, of course.
Nah, I'm just saying you gotta have some degree of self love for real, like straight up.
However you look at it.
Because you gotta,
However you look
if
at
you
it.
don't pick your toenails or your fingernails, you don't groom yourself, you don't love yourself, you don't take care of yourself. You know how they say that shit.
You don't
You
value
know what I'm saying?
yourself. You
You
don't view
gotta,
yourself
you
as
gotta.
value.
Now, Michelle, I'm gonna ask you when it comes to valuing yourself and loving yourself,
You said
how,
it, valuing
how,
yourself.
I'm asking you a question, Michelle. How does it feel and to love yourself compared to other people loving you?
What the fuck kind of question is
She knows what I just said it. Like, wait a minute. I wish I could
this?
rewind it. Want me to rewind it?
Man
How
said,
does it
how does it
feel?
feel
I'll tell you what,
to
that is
love?
what it is, though. That is what it is.
What is the difference
I
between loving
value,
Bec-
yourself and someone
yeah,
else loving
I,
you?
because you're in a
Oh,
relationship. You in a relationship. You wouldn't know that. See, you so gone. You sound pussy. What you don't understand? Listen, how would you feel to love yourself? How would you want to treat yourself? If you were by yourself, bro, you got to love yourself to show another person how you want to be treated. That's
nah.
what I'm trying
See,
to
I
tell
think
you.
I see. That's where I think a lot of men go into relationships in a bad angle. I think a man should go into a relationship not like that, not trying to seek love. Like that's foolish. That's how you gonna get your feelings hurt.
Oh man, I just want to say this, man. When it comes to love, love is the reason. Love is the reason why a lot of people are still living and they take it for granted because somebody else love you and you don't even know it. When you don't love yourself, somebody else do. And before you even thought about it, you was here because of love. You turned around and you was born. Somebody made love, and I want to talk about that for you. Cut me off. Listen, what I'm saying about making
Some people
love.
are hate. Some people are
Listen to
hate
me,
fucked
folks.
into
You might
existence.
not get this right here every day,
I'm just.
but making love is something that has to be made. You can't fall in love like the word says. Fall in love. You can feel love, but you can't fall in love until you made it. Once you made love, you can fall in love and then you can feel it in that order. You have to, when you made love, you have to keep making though. It's an action. It's not something that you gotta goddamn, you know what I'm saying? It's not something you like, oh man, we made love and we fuck and I love her. No, you gotta
yep,
show you love that person every continuously obligation day that you have with that person. Because the
You don't
minute you
have to do
slack,
that. You don't have to do that. That's all cap. That's all this
no,
marketing
yep,
shit
well,
they
you
got
can
going
live a
on.
fraud if you want to. I ain't gonna have nobody. Well, I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'll see them watching goddamn. I'll be joking like, damn, but why you watching this CSI shit? You get mad at me. You want to take me out? Now, listen what I'm trying to say. You want to know that this person love you, and they want to know you love them. You got them, they got you. If I turn my back to you in that bed, you got my back, your back. You strap mine, stretch yours. If I stretch, you stretch. If it ain't that, if that ain't that, and you by yourself, do you love yourself in a way where you know how you want to be loved and treated? Do you know how
See,
you want to be
that's
treated?
that's that that's just craziness to me.
Let me ask you this though. Okay, so it's easier to love somebody that wants to be loved, right? So how do we love people that don't love themselves? I mean, to because I've even come into this recently where I've had had somebody, and contacted me and wanted to tell me how they just weren't doing good in life, and they wanted to take their life and it just wasn't worth their life, and and then so I'm over here feeling kind of weird in a way where it's like I want to help this person, I really do. How do I love this person if they can't? And so you really can't
Wait a minute.
if
Say the
you
question in plain Jane, Shell.
yeah,
How can you what?
yeah.
How can you love this person? What? Say that.
How do we love? How can we love someone that cannot love themselves? Like we got to be able to do that. Like to help that person, like they can't love themselves, so nobody can love them. Is what you're saying. So if that
Some
person
people,
can
Shell. Some people like to entertain misery. That loves company. Some people like projects. Some people don't want to face the truth
You gotta.
that they're not getting
Sometimes you
love
gotta.
back. They don't want to say it. Like, be honest. Do you feel love back when you put love out? You got to be honest that you're getting the same love back. And then sometimes you bitch and moan about what you get
It
back,
don't.
what you put out.
It don't matter what you. It don't matter what you get back.
as long as you put it out. But like if you're putting out nothing but I don't love myself, I want to do something to myself, I don't want to be here no more, and you're giving that to everybody around you, how do you get that love back? You
You're
know,
not gonna get it back because the only thing your environment's gonna do is do a reflection of
nobody's gonna
yourself.
give it to you. Right, but what that
But
what
at
is
the same time, people just need to accept that's what it is. It's not even a fight. It's like most of
yeah,
the time people don't understand they in that pit because of they self, and
right,
that's what they need to be brought into the light of. Like
right.
you are drowning yourself. You don't see that? It's not me trying to love you. I'm trying
It's
to
tough love.
save you.
Tough love.
I'm
Okay.
trying to
Yeah,
save you.
you need
So once again, love be the reason. Just because you now listen, Marie, you could be a lovable, loving by nature person that helps people. Hear me
we're
out.
Marie. We're Marie.
You can have a soft heart and be a kind-hearted person. Period. You could be vulnerable. Period. For anybody who don't love you in return, though, when you're like that. So what I'm saying is, you gotta hear what I'm saying. It's like, how can you love somebody that don't love themselves? That's above you. You're not made and rigged that way. Whether or not they love you or not, you can still love that person. And you
No,
sometimes gotta love through a person that, hey, you can leave them alone and still love them. That ain't got nothing to do with you as a person, whether or not you with them.
I don't feel like you gotta love the people I don't feel like you have to love everybody. I just feel like you have to have a mutual ground of respect for them. It's not love.
Well, I feel like once you got your life set up where it's some people on this earth that you genuinely, not necessarily hate or don't love, or in generally don't have a love for people generally, then it's not that you're anti-socialist, but it's like this: you will not have. I don't know how many roofs, how many houses got to be built for you to realize that you would not be here if it wouldn't be people. Like if it wasn't people and all the bullshit that they do, all that lame ass drama
Yeah.
with TV shows, if it wasn't all that, we wouldn't even be here. Just because we got a solitude session where we can live by ourselves and feel the way we want to feel and say fuck people and all that, that don't mean shit. As a global, it's packed. With the habitable places to go and the water to drink, it's packed. It's a lot of motherfuckers here, and it is like you gotta get along. It's like, I don't want to get along. I can just stay in the house. I ain't got to fuck with nobody. Da 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 da. Yeah, that's cool till you live in a big ass city where it's millions of people and all that shit. You can't live like that. It ain't gonna work. What? What you say, Chef? Hey, Chef.
I said the boys are coming in here being bad.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
Uh,
I have enough love for me and for all these children. So, but I
love
love
be
y'all.
the reason.
I'm gonna get off here. I gotta get some bed.
All right, we'll see you. But yeah, love be the reason, man. It ain't gonna never stop. Universal love, they call it that, universal language and all that stupid shit for a reason. Because it was just rigged that way, man. Some people can't speak the same language, but love, that universal love shit, they can. For real.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Shell, you say you out.
Yep.
All right. Shout out to Shell Pro, man. She was in here cooling with us. Shout out to everybody that do it. Tune in, man. We said we were gonna do this thing, and we did it, man. I hope we can continue this, but I hope y'all gonna get up for the morning show. I do have a morning show to get with y'all, and thank y'all for tuning in. And we're gonna see y'all in the morning, man.